When I was a child, I fell in love with a football team, the Paris Saint-Germain, a team that has a lot of ambition and plays with a beautiful style. In my opinion, the club from the French capital is the best football club in the world. And today I will present to you its history. The club is the result of the union of two other clubs, the Paris FC and the Stade Saint-Germanois in 1970. This club was founded by famous people like Belmondo, a famous French actor. However, no one anticipated that PSG would become the biggest football club in France. Quickly, the PSG accessed to the first division, but the city of Paris wanted to be dissociated with the city of Saint-Germain. So they decided to split the club and only the Paris FC stayed in La Liga. The Paris Saint-Germain went back to second division, and a few years later, in 1972, the PSG went back to La Liga and has never been relegated since that time. The story of PSG is divided in three parts, one between 1972 and 1991, one between 1981 and 2011, and today, the QSC era. During that time, the owner of the club was one of the most famous names of PSG, Daniel Echter, who created the famous band Echter, which is one of the emblems on the skirt of PSG. But between 1972 and 1981, PSG was not one of the biggest teams in France, with only 3 trophies, 2 Coupe de France in 1982 and 1983, and 1 championship in 1986. But in 1991, the PSG was bought by Canal+, one of the most important societies in the French television. During this era, PSG won 5 Coupe de France, 2 Coupe de la Ligue, 1 championships in 1996, and their only European trophy, the Coupe des Coupes in 1996. The owners changed again in 2006, and between 2006 and 2011, the PSG went through a difficult period. They were almost relegated in 2007, for example. But in 2011, the Qatar Sports Investments bought PSG and created the project Rêvons plus grand, or Dream Bigger in English. This project consists of winning the championship again and win the biggest European competition, the Champions League, in 5 years. To achieve their goal, PSG has bought many players like Thiago Silva, Javier Pastore, and the one who made the PSG enter in a new dimension, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, in 2012. And between 2013 and 2016, PSG won all the championships. That makes the PSG become the biggest club in France. But PSG didn't win the Champions League. And the year Ibrahimovic left PSG, they wanted to create a collective without very big players, but with cooperation in this team. However, the biggest disillusionment happened on March 8, 2017, when the PSG which have won the first game 4-0, was eliminated from the Champions League after losing 6-1 against Barcelona. The year after, PSG spent €400 million to both star players Neymar and Mbappé joined PSG. Since that year, PSG became a team without any cooperation and with only stars. Between 2017 and 2023, PSG created only deception in the heart of their fans. But in 2022, PSG signed the biggest player of all time, Lionel Messi. However, nothing changed, and PSG was still not the club that the fan wants it to be. So, this year, in July 2023, when Lionel Messi quit PSG and Neymar was sold in Saudi Arabia, a new project was created for PSG, and PSG no longer want to win thanks to stars, but with a team with a lot of collective. And today, what happened? Sorry. Now we will see the prize list. First, since its creation in 1970, PSG has won many titles. PSG won 11 Ligue 1, 14 Coupe de France, 11 Trophée des Champions, 9 Coupe de la Ligue, and 1 Coupe des Coupes. That makes PSG the biggest football club in France, with the most trophies in all the French competition. But trophies are not the only legacy of PSG. Many important players played for PSG, like Georges Weah, the only African winner of the Ballon d'Or, which is a trophy rewards the best player in the world, Pedro Miguel Paoletta, who played during the dark period at PSG, but thanks to him PSG was not relegated, Ronaldinho, one of the biggest players of the Brazil history, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who thanks to him PSG became a very big team, Marco Verratti, one of the best Italian midfielder of all time, Cavani, who was the top scorer of PSG until Mbappe joined, Di Maria, one of my favorite players and one of the favorite players of the fan of PSG, Neymar, a very big star, but he was disappointing because he was injured a lot of time, Kylian Mbappe, the best player of the world during that day. But a football club is nothing without fans, and the fans of PSG are one of the best in the world. Thanks to the beautiful stadium Parc des Princes, there was a lot of ambience in this stade when PSG played. But today PSG are in reconstruction. There have been many new players who joined the team during the last transfer window, and the player with the center of the sportive project is Mbappe, which is currently the best player in the world, as I said. Also, since last year, there have been a new player who was formed in PSG called Warren Zaïre-Emery, who beats all the records of precocity in PSG and in Europe. And this man will be one of the best midfielders in the world in a few years. Thanks to that, we can say that the future of PSG will be in good hands. Speaking about futures, the ambition of PSG is still to win the Champions League in the next few years.